G'day traders, John from Crypto Candlestick Trading. Just doing an update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Here we are looking at Bitcoin. Nothing's really changed too much besides the fact that we're up 9.2% overnight. So where I'm looking at with this here, so we've had a massive decline and then we've had like an increase here, like high lows, high highs and stuff, and then we've reached this high here, which is actually where the big money is. As soon as we break this high here, this is the actual swing high. When we break this swing high here and we consolidate above it, show some buying strength above it, then I'll be interested in buying. And the reason why is because I'll just go to the weekly chart and just keep in mind where that line and the arrow are. And here's the weekly chart just here. And so on the daily chart, it does look pretty good. On the weekly chart, it looks pretty ordinary. Because if we just, just having a look here, we're broken below the 200, pull back up, below the 200 again, and now we've come back up. And all we've done is come back up and meet these two major moving averages on the weekly chart with Bitcoin. And on top of that, we see a decline in buying volume, a decline in all volume really on the way up, on the rise, which basically says that there's less strength happening here. However, this one here is started on Monday, so this one here on the weekly chart won't finish till Monday. So, but then again, there's a lot of resistance above it. So we've got the previous resistance becomes, there's now resistance still, and we've got the 200 moving average and the 50 moving average all at the same place. This is reversal. This here is definitely reversal. Lack of volume on that reversal. But anyway, we've pushed up, moving to the moving averages, and here we're just going to see a little bit of congestion, I would think, and see what happens. We could just break straight through it. If we do break straight through it, I'll be looking for buys above this area for sure. But however, where we are now, like I'm almost, we are in a buy area. If we look at this very closely, we can see here that we've got resistance here. We're broken down. We're resistance again, breakthrough. Now we've got support on that same area. Now let's just have a look at that same area. So I was watching this the last couple of days, and then we've had resistance, breakthrough, support on that previous resistance area, and then we've got engulfing. So here we've got buying pressure on the first touch of this support area. And then we've come through, we've got a doji, like a spinning top. Then we've got a perfect looking doji. It's beautiful. A little bit of a body there, but it's a very tiny body. And then anyway, this red to green move here could have been the entry there for that one there. In saying that though, if that was the entry there, we're at 21.8, for example. And then on the weekly chart, we're at around about 25,000. So that's around about, say, 15% if my calculations are correct. But, we're not really that far away from here. Yes, you could make some money between here and there, but first point of resistance, major resistance at that, is going to be at this line here. So here we've had a very nice push up to this major resistance line. What will happen from here? Do we have enough strength to continue this momentum and push it through here and then pull back and find support at that area? We'll find out. At this stage here, good buying, sort of, it's kind of good buying. I don't like it under here. I do like that there's a doji and engulfing. Would have liked it above the 9 and above the 21 as well. But here we've got that, anyway, that's just the way it is. We've got increasing volume there. We've got good volume accumulation still at these highs here. And then we start to see a little bit of distribution. So we do have a little bit of buying on the way up, and a little bit of selling up here too. And I think the selling is in anticipation of what could happen up at these highs here. So we'll just have to wait and see. All right, traders, anyway, let's just have a look through and we'll see what some of these other cryptos are looking at. And so here we've got a major long downtrending line there for Ethereum. So Bitcoin is really the crypto index, and Ethereum is like second. That's number 2 in the index. And man, I remember I had about 500 Ethereum once, and they were $40 each. And now look at them. Isn't that cool? $1,600 each. Only if I would have kept them. Anyway, and so here we've got downtrending, and now we've just come up and hit that downtrending line, and we've got previous resistance. Still previous resistance. So Ethereum, even on the daily, it's done good things, but we've got some major hurdles in order for us to get through. I'll just take all those lines away and we'll have a look and see what it looks like. And, does that really look as like something super exciting that you want to get involved in? Looking at the volume here. So we've got reversal engulfing off the 50. Coming out of oversold with stochastics. It's not very good volume. It's okay volume, but, it's only okay. But, but really, we're under the 50. So under the 200, sorry. Now we're above the 200. Now we pull back, and we're now these moving averages are doing the right things. This thing is doing the right thing, but here we've got major resistance at this same area on the daily chart. Let's have a look at the weekly chart here. See, now, the weekly chart again at the 50. What usually happens, once we break through the 50 and come back and test the 50 and we fail, we've got support in the 200. Now, are we going to get rejection at the 50? Here we're between a rock and a hard place, really. We've got 2 moving averages underneath, or 3 moving averages underneath, then the 50 on top. So, if, we're getting engulfing here, if this engulfing would have closed above the 50, then it'd be worthwhile looking at. Let's keep on looking. So here we are. So Litecoin's looking good, but support, breakthrough, resistance. Now let's have a look at Litecoin on the daily chart. So here we are. It's not looking too bad actually. On the daily chart, it looks pretty good. I do like this. Bouncing on the 50 here. Can we get any sort of? Actually, I'll just see if there's any lines there. No, there's not. Okay, so just see what's happening at the bottom of that there. So not really resistance. Kind of. It's kind of ugly really. And then over found support in that same area. No, I don't really think that line is. Actually, the bodies, that's probably more like it. Resistance, bodies, and a little bit of support sort of thing, and then bouncing on the support with an engulfing, closing above 2 moving averages. Yep, I do like this one. Litecoin looks a lot better to me than what the others do, but still we're at major support, resistance. We haven't even closed here yet, and this is on the weekly chart. So we've got major indecision, indecisive engulfing to the south side, and now we've still got 3 or 4 days to go or 3 days to go on the weekly chart before that one's finished. So what could we do? Anyway, let's carry on. Look at a few more. So Monero, yep, Monero is looking good. So I was having a chat the other day as to where Monero, like the actual buy for Monero would have been, and it would have been the red to green move on this one here. And so we've got resistance, breakthrough, and then we've got support on this area here. But it all comes back to the same thing again. Whereabouts are we on the weekly chart? The weekly chart is where the big money play, and that's where they make all the big decisions. As soon as the weekly chart is in favor, then you start going down and having a look here, what daily, 4 hour, 1 hour for your entries on the weekly chart when the weekly chart is telling you that it's positive. And so on here, look at that. So what about Monero? Monero does not look exciting to me at all where it is. That's just, Monero looks, not exciting at all. Here we are, we've got resistance, breakthrough, support at that same area, and that would have been the entry there, only up to the 50. So, I would have been looking at getting out now. And simply because where the crypto market is. That's the daily. Let's have a look at Avalanche. So here on Avalanche, and got that same, so we've got the same area over here. So we've pushed up, failed, and then broken up, and then we've got support on this area here. We're engulfing there, another little engulfing here, and we're pushed up, but we're still under moving averages and resistance. There's still something with every chart. It's not. I'm going to get rid of these drawings here. I do like this. Like that. That's a nice, powerful push there. That is. I do like that. How will it close? What do we got? 40 more minutes until we see this close. But still, it's like if we just have a look here. This here was a massive, big push, and it looked really, really good. But where about? Why did it fail? It probably failed because we're around about the same area where Bitcoin was back then when this happened then. We're still at major resistance and we failed. So we're coming out for another retest, and could we break through or could we fail? We'll have to wait and see. I'm not looking at getting into anything on crypto. I had a very good weekend actually. I'll put a picture up. I had a good weekend on Forex market and did well there. Here, nothing there. I'm not interested in that at all. Matic, look at that. Oh, I like that. Look, check that engulfing out there for Matic. That's good. I like that. But where are we now? Looking at the left. Let's have a look at the weekly chart. And the weekly chart, still weekly chart's looking pretty good actually. That's looking quite strong. Whereabouts could this? Like we're at major resistance right now. Let's just have a look at that. Somewhere around about there. I'll get rid of this line here. So somewhere about previous support, breakthrough. We've got resistance and possible resistance again, and that isn't just. I'm just trying to find the place that makes more sense. They're probably on that doji right there. So we've got support, and there breakthrough, and almost resistance, and then we're at that same point again. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. This is the sort of area, like we've had a nice big push up to here, but this is the sort of area that I would be looking for potential shorts or a breakthrough for a potential long. Here it's 50-50. I like to trade out of these areas, not coming into these areas. I want to be trading from, these kind of lows here up to these kind of areas. But in saying that, I don't really want the small runs. I want the big runs. I want to be able to get some distance and momentum with these things. Now let's have a look at Neo. Like Neo just looks like flat ranging, like not doing anything really. But let's just have a closer look. So that's on the weekly chart. Let's have a look at the 5-minute chart. So the weekly chart looks like nothing. And the daily chart, so we've got resistance and massive resistance again. And we're at that same line there, we've got resistance again with Neo. You know, a lot of things happen, you know, depend on what happens here around this price. Ape. Ape, you know, it looks okay, but it's still under a moving average and it's under resistance. That was on the daily chart. And so here we've got the same again. Look at that, wicks, all up the top here. Major resistance up here for some reason. Don't know why, but EOS, let's just have a closer look at EOS because there's another trend line coming down, which seems to be very long. Is that just a bogus trend line? Yeah, that's a bogus one. That doesn't mean much to me at all. Yeah, I'll get rid of that one. I don't know why that one was there. So looking at this here, traders, you know, this is, you know, this does not look like buy material at all. You know, there's nothing in this chart scenario that says buy. We're under the 200. We're under previous resistance. Yep. You know, there's just nothing here. Nothing here. That's all right. It's bounced over all those, you know, so we've got a Harami piercing signal almost, and then a doji, and then usually after a doji, that'll tell you the direction that we're going in. But, you know, this is the same again. We've got Bitcoin, we've got, you know, crypto up above us, which is holding, you know, showing major resistance. Only a few more traders, then we'll pull the pin on it. And here we are. Yep, it does look pretty good, but we've got resistance above us again. And look at that, right where the big block buying just started, or started selling. Big block selling just started right there. So that's where this came up and found resistance at these areas. So will it find resistance at those where big block selling just started? We might find resistance there again. We'll have to wait and see. Let's just have a look at that on the weekly chart. Yep, nothing. See, like if you look at the weekly chart, it's just a bump in the road. You know, it doesn't look like anything really. And yet that was up 8%. This one's only up 1%. FTM. So I am going to be watching this one for a little bit, you know, a little bit closer, because if we have a look at what has actually happened with this one here, like, you know, say from the breakout here, like that's 26 cents and now we're at 56 cents. So, you know, 26, we're made 100% so far from, you know, well, in a month. That's very good going. So this one here, especially when it breaks out, I will be watching this one here. EGLD, let's have a look at that one. Same again, you know, like I do like this one a lot, but, you know, where are we? You know, support, breakthrough, resistance, and we're finding resistance at that same area and the 200. You know, we've got a lot of work to do to push through this. Look at all that selling. Look at that. There's a lot of selling volume that's happening here too. You know, usually under the major moving averages, we get selling volume, and that's what we've got here at the moment. It'll be very interesting to see where Bitcoin goes from here, if it rejects or if it, you know, shines and goes through. Here, breakthrough, and up. Now this breakthrough is getting weaker. Yep, not a big fan of that at all either. One more, we'll just do mana, and yeah, keep going. Same again here, getting engulfing, bouncing off, which isn't very strong. Yep. Doji, that's actually looking okay. All right, traders. Anyway, I could just keep on going with this, but you know, we can kind of get the picture that, you know, like we're under the major moving averages. You know, we've had a nice big push, which is really good. Resistance, breakthrough resistance, find support, got an engulfing, then we got a doji and an engulfing. So we've got two engulfing patterns buying pressure off this same resistance area. Sorry, resistance off the same support area. And then that's why we had this big push. But, you know, once again, comes down to the weekly chart. What are we going to do with the weekly chart? Like, and we're not far away from it. That's from here to here. And let's just have a look there. So the weekly chart, what are we going to do? You know, we can kind of see what happens. You know, like here, we got rejected to the weekly chart. The very next week, we're back above the 200. Here, we've been living, you know, below the 200. We've got an engulfing below the 200. Another engulfing. Here we've got an engulfing above. Didn't close above the 9. And then we've got another engulfing here. But all we've done is had a nice big push with smaller candles on this push here. And then we've got bigger candles on the selling side. You know, this is negative for an uptrending, you know, environment too. And then here we've got the green that goes up, and it just looks like it's almost touched that 50. Let's get a real price on that 50, shall we? Here, I'm looking over here for the price when I go over around about now. So that 50 is 24,737. So we're at 24,292. So 700. So 500. So we've got $500 more dollars to get from here to that major, the 50 moving average. So, there's not much room at all, traders. We've got a declining volume on the way up. I like it. I do like it, but I don't like it. It's not the sort of thing that I definitely want to be trading in. That's for sure. All right, traders. I hope you have a good day. If you have any questions with your charts, please let me know. If it goes up and above these highs, I'll be looking for entries. If it goes and starts giving me good shorting, I'll be looking for shorts too. Okay, traders. Talk to you again soon. Any questions with your charts, please let me know. All right, talk again soon. See you.